We'll introduce scissor patch with a refined NURBS plane. Right-click to enter patch edit mode, and you'll find the scissor icon in the row including extrude and refine. Select the tool first, and then the ISO curve that will separate the patch. If you've got a curve selected before clicking the scissor icon, the selection will clear. Open the keyframe editor and see that there are now two objects in hierarchy and one is selected in edit mode. Select the object tool or right-click in the workspace and we can see the subpatches clearly via their object controllers. Let's click the scissor tool again and hover over intersecting curves. Using either the points or rows selection mode will allow you to scissor both curves with one click to create 4 separate patches. Use row of points selection mode to restrict scissoring to one curve at a time. Here's the result of 2 scissor operations. We've cut the patch into 5 pieces that are still part of one object. The split hierarchy tool can be used to break the group into separate objects if needed. Closed curves and construction history surfaces are special cases for using scissor. This object from the blend tutorial includes both. Right-click, enter edit, and select scissor patch and cut a row off of the inner half sphere. Navigate up the hierarchy and do the same for the outer half sphere. Navigate up to see it all, back down, and pull the back off of the outer shell. Let's pull the back of the inner shell out the front and select our separated center. Moving the remainder of the shells shows that the green blend construction history is still intact at this point. Let's right-click to enter patch edit mode and then right-click again to enter curve edit mode. We see that the start of each curve is facing us. Think of the line connecting these 2 starting points as the beginning and end of the patch meeting each other. What happens when we try to scissor this line? Nothing. This is another indication that we've found the starting point of the ISO curves and patch surface. Now scissor the next curve up and you'll see that a patch was cut out between this and the start point. But what else has occurred? Because continuity of one of the blend source curves has been broken, its construction history is deleted, and the blend surface is now a plain patch. Let's separate all the parts here to demonstrate. What else have we learned from this exercise? We now know how to find and use the starting point of a closed curve patch as a reference point to determine the result of cutting with the scissor tool. Select the converted blend and find its starting point by entering curve edit. Now it's easy to tell where to scissor to cut the circumference in half. Navigate the hierarchy again and separate the halves to see the result. Keep this in mind when beginning to model an object. You'll gain the most editing flexibility by carefully considering where curves begin and end, and then building upon this important detail. To slice this object from a previous tutorial in half, I'll have to refine it to create a properly placed curve to slice. Cut twice to account for the original curves being off-center, and then glue the pieces together. The downside to this technique, besides creating additional work, is that the glued sections don't have editing continuity. A closely spaced stitch will help us, but of course that's even more work that could have been avoided.